Welcome to What's Bothering Rashi, Parsha's Bolok, Tovshin, Pei Vov. So in this week's Parsha, we know Balak ben Zippor hires or tries to hire Bil'am to curse Bnei Israel. And he sends a group of people to ask this from Bil'am. And Bil'am says, wait, I have to ask Hashem and see if he lets me or doesn't let me. And Hashem tells him, Lo tilech imahem, don't go with them. So he wakes up in the morning, Bil'am, and he tells them, Hashem told me I can't go with you. But then Balak sends another group of more important messengers. And then again, Bil'am asks Hashem, should I go or not? And Hashem this time says, Kum lech itam, go with them. In Perek Chavbet, Pasuk Chaf. And Bil'am goes, and we know the story, he goes with his donkey, and the donkey sees Malach Hashem, the angel with a sword, and Bil'am doesn't see it. The donkey stops, and he hits his donkey 3 times. And eventually he sees also the angel of Hashem. And Vayomer Bil'am and Malach Hashem, he says to him, I sinned, chatati. If you don't want me to go, I won't go. And then it says, Vayomer Malach Hashem el Bil'am in Perek Chavbet, Pasuk Lamed, Lech ima anashim, go with the people. But do only what I tell you to do. Say only what I tell you to say. Ve'efes et hadabar asher adaber alecha, oto tadaber. And then it says, Vayelech Bil'am im sarei Balak. So Rashi, on that Pasuk, Perek Chavbet, Pasuk Lamed, says, Lech im ha'anashim, בדרך שאדם רוצה ללך בה, מוליכין אותו. A famous saying that says, basically a person has free will. He could decide whatever he wants to decide, to do good or to do bad, and Hashem will help them, will help him either way. That's a big chidush, which means even if he decides to do something bad, if he makes that decision, Hashem will make it easier for him to do it after he made that decision. B'derech she'adam rotze lelech, on a path a person chooses to go, molichin oto, Hashem will help him go there. So in this Rashi, what's bothering Rashi is quite simple. There's nothing in the pasuk itself that's bothering him, but the story is a bit difficult because Hashem tries to stop him from going, and then all of a sudden he says, Lechim anashim. So what changed? So says Rashi, what changed? When Bil'am showed how much he wants to go, Hashem said, okay, you want to do something bad, I'll let you. But the question is, on this Rashi, which we ask many times, why did Rashi say it here? And the question is a question because if you look at the source of Rashi is a Midrash, it's a Gemara in Makot, Perek Sheni, the second Perek of Makot, Daf Yud Amud Bet, and the Gemara says over there, B'derech she'adam rotze lelech molichin oto. The Gemara brings a few proofs from the Chumash, from the Navi, and from the Ketuvim. And the Gemara says, what's the proof from the Chumash? The story of Bil'am. But which pasuk does it bring? Not the one Rashi brings. It says, B'derech she'adam rotze lelech ba molichin oto, min haTorah, dichtiv lo telech imahem, uchtiv kum lech itam. Kum lech itam is the first time after Bil'am sends him the second delegation, and it says in Pasuk Chav, Kum lech itam, go with them. Rashi doesn't say it on that Pasuk. Rashi says it later on when he goes and the angel stops and the donkey stops going, and then again Bil'am asks Hashem, should I go or shouldn't I go? If you don't want me to go, I won't go. And then Hashem says, Lechi ma'anashim, and over there Rashi says, B'derech she'adam rotze lelech ba molichin oto. Why didn't Rashi say it earlier? Why didn't Rashi say it on the same pasuk that Medrash brings it on? The first time Hashem tells him, Kum lech itam. So many of Mefarshei Rashi asked this question. My father, Alav HaShalom, wrote the following answer, which is a very nice answer and a basic, fundamental idea, interpretation of 2 words in Lashon HaKodesh. In English, you say go with them. In Hebrew, go with them could be written in 2 different ways. With them could be itam or imahem. In English, it would be translated the same way. But what's the difference? There must be a difference. What's the difference between itam, lech itam, go with them, and lech im ha'anashim, go with the people, go with them. So there is a difference. When it says itam, it means go with them, but not with their same intention. Just physically, you could walk with them, but not completely with them, with the same intention they are going. When it says lech imahem, im is a stronger with. Im means go with them with the same intention, not only physically, but with the same inside motive or intention. Whatever they're going for, you could join them and go for the same reason. It's a much stronger with when it says lech imahem. And Rashi himself writes it a few times. He says, im libo v'libam shavim, which means they are going with the same heart, with the same intention. Rashi says, im sarei balak, in the same pasuk, sameach lekalelam kemotam. He's happy, he has the same feelings that they have. That's what the word im means. And now it's very nice why Rashi says, it's understood why Rashi says it, where he says it. Because the first time when Hashem says go with them, he says kum lech itam. Hashem doesn't yet give him permission to go exactly the way he wants to go. Physically go with them. But this time, the second time, it doesn't say lech itam. It says, Rashi says, the pasuk says lech im ha'anashim, and those are the words Rashi is writing what he's writing on. Lech im ha'anashim. Go with them. Over here, Hashem gives them permission to go with them, completely with them, which means to do what he wants to do. To go for the same reason. They are going, the people of Balak, which means the curse. And over here, Rashi says, we see here the rule that the minute you choose to do something bad, Hashem lets you. Because he's not only letting him go with them physically, here he's letting him go with them also with the same inner intention. Lech im ha'anashim. So that's why Rashi says it here and not earlier. You might ask, so why does the Gemara say it earlier? So my father, alav shalom, explained that the Midrash is different than Rashi. Rashi is coming to explain words or difficult things in the pasuk itself. And here we have a difference between lech itam and lech im ha'anashim. So Rashi writes it where exactly it's appropriate, this rule of b'derech shadam motze lelech molichin. It also, you see it here exactly, it also explains the difference between the words itam, the word itam, and the word im. But the Medrash is coming to teach us how to behave, musar, derech eretz. So the Medrash writes the rule the first time it's appropriate, even if it's not exactly the best place to write it. But the first time when Hashem says go with them, you're right, it doesn't say go with them imahem, it says lech itam. But that's the first time we see that Hashem is agreeing a bit to Bilam. So the Midrash says this rule on that pasuk, on the first time we see it. Rashi, on the other hand, was explaining the words and difficulties, and therefore he waits till the pasuk that shows us exactly, completely, how Hashem lets Bilam go exactly with the same intention that they have, and also explaining the change of words between lech itam and lech ima anashim, and therefore he waited till the second time, and only then he brought down the rule that's brought down in the Medrash, b'derech shadam motze lelech ba molichin oto. Have a wonderful Shabbos.